Is the Whisper of the Worm about to become the king of DPS again? In today's video, we're going to discuss just that. What's up, my fellow weirdos? How are you today? If you've been paying attention to the TWAB the past few weeks, then you already know we're about to see some big changes coming to weapons, armor mods, all the way up to exotics when the 30th anniversary drops on December 7th, including getting the Galahorn for the third time. Yeah. All this info we've seen so far has me scratching my head on some decisions and excited for others. One of those decisions I'm really excited about is the buff to the Whisper of the Worm. If you don't know what the Whisper is, then this is going to be a really awkward video. You're going to have to Google it. So let me introduce you to this monster. It was originally a D1 legendary from the Crota raid, known as the Black Hammer. It worked its way through middle management in D1 until Bungie gave it a promotion and a new title in D2 as Whisper of the Worm. And it was tied to a beautiful dungeon that Bungie just dropped nonchalantly. It was actually really cool. This big clunky 72 RPM sniper rifle was an absolute unit when it came to DPS, thanks to an extra 35% damage from the catalyst and a little perk called White Nail. Originally, White Nail pulled rounds out of thin air when you consecutively hit 3 precision shots. It would just fill the magazine so you can do some serious damage. Unfortunately, Bob over there in Bungie's fun department got wind of this and nerfed it so it no longer pulls rounds from thin air. Now it just sits in the vault talking about the good old days. If we look at the TWAB from November 11th, Bungie stated the original DPS king has fallen out of favor. You think? The delay before the damage buff kicked in made the weapon less usable in short damage phases, and optimal sustain damage requiring all critical hits, but not sufficiently rewarding precision. So they're reducing the delay on activating the catalyst perk, Whisper Breathing, from 2.1 seconds to 1.2 seconds. They're also changing the White Nail perk. It currently pulls 3 rounds from reserves, but once the changes go live, it'll pull 2 from reserves and 1 from thin air. And with 18 in reserves, that's 6 extra shots as long as you hit your crits. Bungie's also increasing the damage in PvE by 10%. That may not seem like much, but when you have a weapon that hits like a freight train already, 10% is good. It's not back to its former glory, but this is a start. Now the question everyone is probably here for, will it dethrone the 1K voices and be the king of DPS once again when the 30th anniversary drops? Short answer, no. Not when we have artifact mods like particle deconstruction around, and if you also take into consideration the ease of use, definitely not. If we pull up SKYWARRIORS DPS damage charts, which I highly recommend you check out, I'll leave links in the description. If we look closely, the average DPS for the 1K is 16,556, and for the Whisper, it's 17,924. The total simulated damage for the 1K is 273,456, and for the Whisper, it's 268,866. They're not too far off from each other, but the Whisper starts falling behind in burst damage or short damage phases. It falls even further behind when we add in particle deconstruction and the fact that you don't have to line up your shots, wait for the catalyst to proc, and hit crits every time. Most of us aren't pro MLG no-scope gamers like my friend Cardboard. SKYWARRIOR gets this info by blasting Callie from the Last Wish raid in the face because she has a ×2 multiplier and is capped at 750 light level. The damage chart shows the values without the multiplier, and the chart's average DPS represents a weapon's performance when emptying all of its reserves with only full magazines. And simulated damage is the headshot damage times the reserves to give you a hypothetical max damage if you have full ammo, hit all your headshots, and empty all your ammo out. All this testing was done with reload buffs like Luna Factions, Rally Barricade, Field Prep. But that's it. Thank you for your hard work, SKYWARRIOR. I truly appreciate it. But SKYWARRIOR's damage chart only goes up to Season of the Lost. One thing I've learned from scouring all these spreadsheets that I've talked about in previous videos, they don't really post anything until it can be tested, which is a good thing. So this is where we get into hypothetical territory, and keep in mind I'm terrible at math. I knew I should have tried to join Dado's clan. That 10% bonus damage we're getting from the buff and the extra 6 rounds if we hit our shots will make a huge difference in the long run across the board, especially when it comes to total simulated damage or sustained damage. I could be wrong on this because I'm just tacking on 10% of the headshot damage, but that's an extra 26,000 to the total damage just from the 10% buff alone. That means if I am right, the Whisper will do more total damage than the 1K without any buffs or debuffs, and I haven't even factored in the extra 6 shots that we could potentially get from the White Nail perk. Those extra shots would bring us somewhere in the ballpark of 395k total damage if we have full ammo and hit every shot. But that would require a very long damage phase and still might not be enough when you add in particle deconstruction for the 1K and the fact that you don't have to aim. But then again, we don't know what kind of damage phases we're going to see in the 30th anniversary in the Witch Queen. Maybe they'll be longer where the Whisper would shine. So I guess what it comes down to is what type of enemy you're shooting. Do they move a lot? Are you looking for ease of use where you can just spray? Do you just need burst damage? Or how long is the damage phase? And more importantly, what's comfortable to you? I prefer precision damage over spray painting the whole boss with a space beam. These are all factors you have to consider. In long-term sustained damage, the Whisper will hold its own, and I'm looking forward to it hopefully making its glorious return. I think when the Witch Queen drops and particle deconstruction runs its course, the Whisper of the Worm will be a very good damage option. But until then, everybody will be using Galley, and when that gets old, move back to using 1K. And there's nothing wrong with that, just don't forget about old Betsy over here. Plus, we don't know what the Witch Queen has in store for us, so this gun could be meta once again. What changes are you looking forward to when the 30th anniversary drops? Me, it's mostly the Whisper. On a side note, I just want to give everybody a heads up. I have to go out of town on the 7th. Yes, I know, my timing is impeccable. I won't be back for 2 weeks. I will try to upload something, but I won't have much time to play, so testing builds probably won't be an option. I apologize in advance for that. If you found this video helpful, a like would be greatly appreciated, but more importantly, above everything else, be good to one another, and have a fantastic day. Thank you!